Hi, everybody. My name is Tanya. I'm the host of Power Pantaloons podcast. I am a holistic cancer wellness guide, and today we have Stella with us. Stella,
Hello. Hello, I'm so excited. You cannot even believe.
so you want to tell the audience what it is that you do?
Hello, Tanya. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Tanya, for inviting me to be a part of this amazing podcast. Um, it's very special to me. I'll tell you later why. I'm so emotional and so excited to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm Stella Stoyanova. My name is Stella Stoyanova.
It's so lovely to have you. We were talking a little while ago about some of your experiences and how you want to help people. So you want to dive into that and you want to share your story?
Yes, of course. First of all, I just want to introduce shortly myself. I'm a woman of faith, first of all, and I'm a mom of three wonderful children, 6, 8, and 15. I'm an entrepreneur. I own a small business with importing jewelry, and also I'm a leader in health and wellness and beauty company. I can share the name if you don't mind. It's
I
called
certainly.
it's called Dual Life, like your second life. Um, and it's developing mostly in Europe. And the main reason is to find a wide market here in the States. But I have many hobbies from numerology to interior design to volleyball and all kind of other things, but my passion is actually to serve women like me who went through a path, a hardship, a difficult path, and a journey of healing coming out from toxic relationship. And I was emotionally abused, I was financially abused, and sometimes I wish to be physically abused, but not emotionally because it felt really hard and very bad. So since March this year, I decided to commit my life and just share my story with women and help women just like me.
I know not from personal experience just how difficult it is to leave a relationship like that. Um, Being financially dependent on somebody makes it even harder to do. And it's got to be even that much worse when you have small children.
Yes, it's really hard to know that is not right, and you have to do and deal with things that are against your will, against your values, but you got to do it because you don't have other choice. You're helpless. You don't
Yeah.
find the exit of it. And imagine I was an immigrant in June. Actually, I turned 20 years exactly since I moved to the States. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful to live in this country, dreamland. I was following my American dream, and I came to the States with the love of my life. And we created a beautiful family, and it looked like I'm doing right things.
Yeah.
I had my first daughter, and then in 7 years, a boy, and another boy. And um, you know, actually, I'm gonna, you know how I met you somewhere in very special place, and I want to start from there in a group where people just like us, hungry for growth and hungry for to improve themselves, hungry for knowledge and wisdom. So there, very important is wins, our wins. So in the States, I had many wins, many blessings. But in the same time, I had, just we are human beings. So everybody was telling me, Stella, moving to the States is not going to be hard. But I was young, so I adapted very, very quickly.
Yes.
It was surprisingly for me. But you know how we talk about wins, and I have a strong belief that I would like to share with your followers as well, that we never fail. If God wakes us up in the morning, we never fail. We either win or learn. We either win or learn. So I love so much that we share our wins because we had so many, so many.
Yeah. One of the very strong things that I took from my cancer journey was the gratitude every morning that I was able to wake up. And over the years, I've come to actually be grateful that I went through that journey because it changed the person that I am. I can admit that before I was, young and selfish and not a person I want to be a friend with now. And it took a brutal 2x4 to the back of the head for me to see it. And I am absolutely grateful every morning that I get to wake up. It's not guaranteed.
This
So
is
I
one of the
understand.
things. This is one of the things that keep me moving forward. One of the huge things, the gratitude. Every morning when I wake up, I pray and I say my gratitude to the universe, to our highest power, whatever your beliefs are,
Right.
you
I
know.
like to keep it more spiritual and God,
Yes,
force,
the highest
universe, that kind
power.
of,
Hmm.
because
Everybody
I also,
believes in different.
right, exactly. I feel that everybody, as long as they have something to believe in, who am I to tell them? That's absolute arrogance for me to tell them what their spirituality should be, what their connection to God should be. That's between them and their God.
It's very personal, very personal. The
It
connection
is,
to God, to universe, to whatever you believe in.
yeah, I think it's one of the most personal relationships you have.
Yes. Tonya, before I continue, if you notice, I have lavender color of my hair, and I did it because of today's participation in your podcast in honor of you, to honor your fight with cancer, your long freedom from cancer, your strength, your bravery,
You're gonna make me
and not
cry.
just yours, but everybody else that survived and fought this disease. And especially you, because you're the one I'm a guest to, and I'm so emotional to say it. But yesterday I did my seasonal hair color, and I told to my hairstylist, I want to go, I'm gonna go to participate in a podcast to a very special person. So I would love to be in a color of healing, encouraging, uplifting. And she said, the color of 2023, the color of inspiration is digital lavender.
Digital
That's
lavender.
how they call it, digital lavender. And
It looks
symbolizes, yes. And
like
she told
it's
me actually,
pink.
she's more, no, it's like light
Oh,
lavender.
I see
Look,
it.
it's
Yeah.
purple. You
I
see
oh
it?
there, right there. It's purple, but like over here, there's like pink highlights. That's
Yes, I wanted to be something like royal blue. I didn't want it to copy you. I know blue is the color that helps.
copy away.
But and she's not just a hairstylist. She told me more about it. She told me that symbolizes the harmony between calmness and cheerfulness. So how you can be peaceful and cheerful, joyful in the same time. So this is
Lavender
it.
is a sacred plant. It does so much, and it's very gentle. It is a very gentle, uplifting, calm, energetically, like it imbues that. So she's right. Like I
Yes.
have yet to walk through a lavender field. That is on the bucket list because I would love to do that. But I work with lavender essential oil a lot. I don't necessarily always like the scent, but it is one of the most popular essential oils because a lot of people you can use it. It's useful for everything. It helps you
When I'm
sleep.
under stress, so I'm
Yeah.
overtired, I use it too. I love essential oils. And this
Yeah.
is another thing that I would love to learn from you, maybe one
Oh,
day.
sure. Absolutely. We could talk about that all the I could talk about essential oils all the time. I love them. I think that they're so useful. You can oh, what happened here?
Just the light changed.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just wanted to share that I just honor you for choosing yourself.
Thank you. What you've gone through, that journey. See, I feel that all of us have some sort of journey that we go through and we learn a lot, and that you want to help people, women who are in that kind of situation, figure out how to get out of it. Can you talk about what led to your decision to leave and how you organized getting out of that relationship some to offer some
Yes.
inspiration?
I know you are a parent as well. So I know as a parent, you would agree with me that the kids are our future. It's my priority. They're my priority. So you can imagine two little ones and one teenager. So I was so focused, like concentrated on the responsibility and the everyday chores. Um, I was doing I was making sure everyone is happy around me, and I was on last place. Of course, by the end of the day, I'm so tired I cannot even shower. What about something more to take care of myself, meditation or anything else? And for a long time, I felt that, you know, I supposed to be fulfilled. I supposed to be happy. I have this beautiful family, healthy family, and I felt empty. I felt lost in the same time. And I was asking a question every day. I was questioning myself. But going with the time, I was keep doing that, and I was putting it on a side. And then one day, 3 years ago exactly, I woke up and I was unable to get up from the bed. I had pain all over my body. I didn't know where it's coming from. I was tired after 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's wrong with me? And then that day, I realized that I either gonna end up in a hospital and not be able to take care of my kids. I'm gonna get some kind of disease or something, and I'm not gonna be able to continue taking care of my kids. Or I have to make the choice, take care of myself first. I always, when people would say, the highest power first, you second, third children, and then everybody else. I was like, why? No, my children supposed to be before me. I love them so much. But that day understood why.
You have to be first because you cannot give from an empty cup.
Yes, my cup was totally empty.
Empty. Yep. That's why when you're on the airplane, they tell you to put on your air mask first because you can't help anybody else while you're struggling. So you have to start with yourself. Some people think that that's selfish. It's not. You have to be in a place where you're able to give.
And I was already going my husband already changed because, it's a shock to become a parent. We both change. But, um, but he started asking me to lose weight. He wanted so much from me. And in the same time, he was not giving back. He
Right.
wanted just to receive, but he was not giving back. And I was willing to change. I tried to lose weight. I did lose it. I started, you know, taking care of myself more, going to beauty salons and so on, taking care of my mindset. And little by little, I realized that I'm in a toxic relationship. That was the the cause, not the result.
Right.
So I was the cause of the toxic relationship. I was not the result of the toxic relationship.
So is that decision there when you decided that you needed to leave once you realized?
Um, to this day, we live together. We chose to do it for the kids, but I changed a lot, totally a lot. I started reading books. I started looking for support, communities with ladies who are going through the same journey. I started going to different mentorings, sessions, spiritual practices. I started with cleaning and detoxing inner and outer world. We were doing like uh, cleaning our blockages in our chakras, and in the same time, we were cleaning one room at a time, like one chakra, one room of the house. That felt so relieving and so satisfying. Breath works, crystal sessions, all
Yes.
kind of practices, and it felt so good because I was going deeper and deeper into myself. I started um, I started being again my authentic self because I lost myself. I was
Yes.
living his life. I was going after his desires, his needs, his dream,
Yeah.
just to prove myself, to make him like me more. But I was never enough because he didn't love me anymore.
Right.
So if they still love, it's worth it to continue for the children, to fight for
Well,
you.
it depends on the relationship. It depends on the toxicity level. It depends on whether there's what kind of abuse you're actually see. I I personally believe that when it's done, it needs to be done, and you leave, and the children know they are more intuitive and knowing of what's going on in the adult relationship than the adults ever realize that they know. My parents got divorced when I was little, and they needed to. They absolutely needed to. Um, and the children that I have now, I inherited when I got married again. They're my kids, though. They're absolutely my kids. And only one of them still has a relationship with their birth parent, their birth mother, because she just the way that she was. So that's difficult. Like, so making a decision to leave a relationship when you're having stuff going on that isn't normal, just falling out of love. It makes it difficult, and it makes it that much harder when you have kids. But if there's actual violence going on or psychological violence, sometimes the best option is to remove the children from the situation completely. And I
I was Yeah, I was not able to eat. I was not able to walk in the house. And now we live in the same house, but he works out of state. So he's here just for 2 days, and I'm out of the house when he's here. It doesn't matter, but I wanted to say that I refuse to lose my physical and mental health.
yeah,
And I just made the choice that because I always say my children are more important than everything else. But in order to save their mental health, I had
you
to
have to
make a
save
move.
yours.
I
Yes,
had to save mine first.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So, and
Yes.
that's why I adore you and I admire you for what you did because when I go back and I'm like, I was going through bad stuff, I was going through a lot of hardship. But I can imagine for someone who's fighting cancer, it's even worse because you know that you're on a way to lose your health and you have to make choices, you have to be strong. And just the way how I chose it, but I didn't lose my health. So I can imagine how hard it is for a person to fight.
Health, you know, people who are healthy, they have lots of dreams and wishes and what they want to bring into their life. Somebody who is sick, the only thing they really care about is getting well again. And that whether that is a physical ailment, a mental ailment, or even a spiritual ailment, like not being whole in mind, body, spirit, it, it's something that we work on, all of us. Like we actively work towards completion. It's part of our life's journey, I think. And, sometimes things get a little out of whack. The that cancer journey kicked my butt. It did. It really it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. Um,
But
but
I
it was
love how
16 years ago.
unapologetic you are now, right now. Like so brave, so open-minded. Like you always like to improve. You always like to learn. I just love how consistent you are in everything you do. I just
Thank you.
admire of all that because I know you for maybe a year now, and it's
Yep.
just amazing. And in my personal life, actually, I lost two very dear people to my heart. My grandma, who I'm named after, she passed, and also my best man, the witness of our marriage, he also baptized one of my children and very close friend, and both of them they passed from cancer in their stomach. But they were not brave enough. They chose just the medical system. They were not brave enough to choose alternative, ways.
I have some
And
thoughts and feelings about that. And I am sorry for your loss. Whew. Not everybody is gonna choose to actively fight the cancer. And because one out of two people will have some form of cancer in their life, according to the American Cancer Society, is people you know, and my best friend from high school was there holding my hand with me when I went through my journey. And then a few years after, like 6 or 7 years after I was diagnosed, she got diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And she decided that she was not going to fight it. She put in the lip service, but didn't actually, and I can't be selfish enough to wanted her to fight it. Like that was her decision based on her life and where she was and just how tired of fighting all the time she was. She went from domestic violence situation to domestic violence situation and she never got out of it. And it would be supremely selfish of me to have insisted that she fight. I had to be not selfish and let her make her own decisions because she's her own person. She has the right to make her own decisions. And nobody has the right to judge somebody when they're in that moment. There were, there was at least one moment while I was going through my journey where I really contemplated that because it's not easy. It's not. And it was the day I went in for round two of chemotherapy. I got up and I had to put down my cat of 18 years because she chose that day that she had to leave. So we went to the vet and put her to sleep, and then I went into the hospital, and it took an ER nurse 45 minutes to get to tap my vein. And ER nurses are experts at getting a needle in, and it took her 45 minutes. Literally the hardest day of my life.
but you
And
didn't quit. You didn't quit.
I I came very close, Stella. I was sitting there and I said, Goddess, um, I can't do this anymore. She has one last shot of getting my vein. And she nailed it on that next shot. So whether you believe in God or not, I certainly do, because when I absolutely was at my lowest point, God came through. And that was a turning point for me because later that afternoon, I got my stuffy, Mr. Big Toe, who was with me for the rest of my cancer journey. He went on all my little radiation appointments. He went to the rest of my chemotherapy. He went through 2 or 3 surgeries with me. He flirted with waiters.
You know, I've been mentored from students of Bob Proctor. Are you familiar with Bob Proctor?
I've heard of him, yeah.
And he say one thing that we're the designers, the directors, designers of our life, the directors of our own movie.
Yeah.
And I so agree with that because some people like you choose to be the directors of their own movie. And some people like my grandma, like my friend, like your friend, they choose to be extras, just to watch from the side and wait for the life to, you know, happen
To
like
them.
to
Yeah.
them, not for them. And you are the one that chose life to happen for you, not to you.
Be Before I got diagnosed, I was just like everybody else coasting along and letting things happen to me. And it took this devastating disease for me to get my shit in order and actually realize that I wanted to live and that no day is promised. When you're young, your whole life in front of you, you're bulletproof, 10 foot tall, and invincible.
And plus, for my best man, you know, he was here. The medical system is so developed. He was blessed to live longer years than my grandma because he was in the States and my grandma was in Bulgaria. We don't have very developed technology there. We have wonderful doctors, professionals, but the technology, the equipment is old and not
Yeah.
that developed. So he was blessed to live longer than her. But in the same time, I blame myself that I didn't like push him. But like you say, it's people's choice. You cannot push somebody to do something that it's not he's not willing to do it. He doesn't have the desire to do it. He didn't feel it with his body, mind, and soul to do it, you know?
And realizing that you can help people if they're willing to be helped. But when you're at a point where somebody is not willing to be helped, there's nothing that you can do. Watching them go through experiences that either you've gone through or you know how to help solve and they don't want to do it, that can be super frustrating. And I get that, but sometimes you just have to let them do it because that's part of their life journey.
Yes, I guess so. And
You don't
yes,
sound convinced.
um, because I believe that if so many people tell you one thing, you should stop. You should stop and think twice. And sometimes I blame myself that I didn't sit down and had like a personal conversation with him, telling him how important it is to combine the medical system plus holistic
Yeah,
ways because he could be alive now. He has 14 years old daughter.
yeah,
We could see her growing.
yeah. No, I totally understand that. I get that, but sometimes people's fear to try the thing, to do the thing, to fight for the thing is so overwhelming. They'll just sit in their pile of mud and stay there and they won't move. And sometimes you can get through to them for a minute and then they step out for a second and then they run back into their little mud pile. I, you know,
Yes.
you can't hold the guilt for that. That is not on you. Those weren't your choices. You can grieve that they didn't make the choices you felt were better for them, but it's their right to make those choices, and it's
Yes,
hard to
true,
watch.
true. So that's why I chose to start with gratitude. I have like a morning ritual in the morning. I drink my coffee, I light a candle. I wake up an hour earlier for my kids. I'm journaling, writing down my goals, targets, intentions for the day. And since I started doing all that, walking in the nature fills me up so much. I get so much clarity and like creativity. I get my best ideas in nature.
I love walking barefoot through the forest or along the beach. I like the beach in the wintertime when it's not full of people, and I like it at night.
Oh,
I
that's
like to
nice.
sit on the beach. I'm very fortunate. I live a half an hour from the beach, and so I can go down there at like 5 a.m. and watch the sunrise. That's magic. That's absolute magic.
That's beautiful. This is such a form of self-love and self-respect.
Yeah.
And that's actually what we all going through something. And as a human being, we all going through some kind of difficulties. But I see the similarity with me and you that we had to fight
Yeah.
and we had to choose ourselves and to set for myself was very important to get rid of negativity. I started with myself because for a long time I had negative talks, a lot of negative talks with myself. I had mirror practices, talking to myself in the mirror and having some crystal sessions, going deep into the roots of everything coming out. Because I realized that living in my young ages with grandparents, I was raised to be respectful, humble, calm. I didn't have the right to be very open-minded and different. Um, I was the oldest sibling in the family, so everything, whatever, I had to be the role model. So maybe that's why my chakra closed. So I found out that not just becoming a parent, but a lot of traumas from my childhood came out when I was going through the emotional abuse.
Absolutely. Sorry, I have to move stuff around. The cat is insisting on
No problem at all.
knocking stuff off my desk.
But healing all of it together was actually what helped me and what made the transformation for me. And I love that you combine the medical system plus the holistic ways because a big word for my life is balance, balance in everything, mind, body, soul. You have
Yes.
to, I reset my mindset first, the way how I was thinking. And then I find it all the communities that could help me do it. And because I don't have any family members here, so I always look for like-minded people.
Yep.
And I have very close friends who help me through the path too. But for a long time, I was not sharing with anybody what is going on with me. I was covering it, and that made it even worse.
Yes. I really feel that talking about it and working through it is much better than sorry, sometimes words don't work for me. Burying
Mhm.
it inside. Um, yeah, the more you talk about it, the more you process it, the more you speak it out, the easier it is to start finding solutions and changing.
And longer you stay in it, bigger the damage,
Yes.
and longer the healing
Yes, absolutely.
because it stays there. So many marks and traces on your life and your health as whole. And that's what I believe. That's why I'm committing to serve and, just to share with women going through this that they don't have to wait, they don't have to procrastinate. Because I was looking, procrastination is a form of perfectionism. I was
It
waiting for
is.
the perfect time, for the perfect moment when I can get rid of it and I can go out of the situation, but was not coming, and the environment was getting unhealthier and unhealthier,
Yep. Yes.
and I needed, to feel sick in order to make the choice for myself.
I I think that that is accurate for a lot of people. We were able to sit and ignore a lot until it becomes so painful we have to change.
True.
I see that, and if I look over the history of my own life, it, I was motivated to move and change once it became absolutely unbearable, whether it was mental pain or physical pain or whatever. But you know, as a species, we're not proactive most of the time. Only a few of us are. And I'm trying to change that in myself because I see it, so I'm trying to be better about things, and I'm rewiring my head for better mindsets and doing goal setting and having intentions and all of the things that help you progress faster. Sometimes that still takes time. And we were talking earlier about negative self-talk. Absolutely. That how many thoughts do we have in a day? 700 and
70,000.
yeah,
Credit to Alex Zastopol. He told us that 70,000 thoughts a day coming out. And
that's
when mind is now our brain, for a long time I thought it is our brain, but it's an activity actually. And very often we act by our subconscious mind. I learned that from Proctor. And very rare we moving in our lives from our conscious, the thinking mind. So
yeah.
when you learn to control that part, it's a big change for me. I have a friend, I took a practice for feminine energy, and I'm not sure how familiar you are of the woman figure archetypes. Um, they call the archetypes with different names, but very often the most popular, the mother woman, queen, child, and lover. And for a long time, I had been into the mother woman. I was so concentrating, into being a mom, caring, loving, nurturing. And I was so away from the child archetype of the woman, the playfulness, the selfishness, the um, even, you know,
Innocence.
yes, I was taking myself so seriously. I'm not even talking about the other two archetypes, the queen and the lover. I totally forgot that I'm a woman, you know.
I do know because right after, the hysterectomy, that happened to me at 38. So while I was in mother years, I was queen because I didn't have kids. And so immediately I was thrown into crone. And I'm like, but I'm 38. So yeah.
And in the same time, the dad was into the child archetype of man. He was manipulative. Everything is about his dreams, his desires. And because I love him so much, I was following his dreams. I was living his life.
Yeah.
And then when I became aware that something is going bad with me, it was a huge wake up call for me. Huge.
Yeah.
But I was lucky that I had it, because many women, they live for years and they just stay in it and becomes worse and worse. And then they end up mentally or physically unhealthy. And
Yep.
then it's even worse. They might lose their lives. And, it's just ridiculous. So I would love to keep sharing and um, telling to women to not wait, do not procrastinate.
Yep,
Step by step, start with little steps. Like every week, I was changing something with me. One
yep.
day, I was having hard time to meditate. For me, it was like wasting time. And now I do 5 minutes, but I do it. This is my slowing down time, my
I love meditation.
re-energizing. Yes, I'm just, recharging my batteries with it, with meditation
That's
and
exactly
journaling.
what it is. It's a recharging and daily, sometimes multiple times a day. While you're working, you can take a 2 minute to reset yourself.
Yes.
Very helpful.
And I had
Very,
an accident last year, which again, because for a little bit, for like a few months, I forgot about me, how important I am, because I was so busy with my children, and the accident woke me up again, once again, and slowed me down again. I was for 2 weeks at home going through my life and going deeper into myself. And I did some practices and work and within. And again, um, I started taking care of myself because every woman, every person, it's worth self-love, self-respect.
I feel like the universe starts subtly to try to get us to go on the right path. And the longer we ignore it, the more emphatic the messages from the universe are. And so when we start to get it and then we're starting to veer off path, the universe has to be a little bit more emphatic to get us back on path.
I love that. It's so right, because as soon as I feel like I'm taking a wrong, path, like the universe is redirecting me in the right, direction.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like telling me, Stella, no, 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 this way, this way.
And teaching the universe that, okay, so I'm doing what we're supposed to be doing. As I veer off, could you be a little less harsh with the lesson to go this way? I need more subtle signs now that I know what I'm looking for.
Yes,
All
true.
right, Miss Stella, I
I
really
love it.
appreciate you coming
I
by
love.
today.
And last year, in October, I found out my purpose. I found my purpose, and then everything started moving like with so much speed and urgency. You cannot even believe it. I have a different light in my face. Everybody's noticed it. Everybody's asking me what is going on with me.
I figured out what I'm supposed to be doing. Miriam
Yeah.
is really good at that. I need to
Yes,
nail her
credit
down and
to
have her come talk to my audience.
credit to Miriam Zastopol. And if you don't mind, I can share my purpose is to
Share
open
your
minds, especially women's minds, and inspire souls to transform their struggles into, you know, into blissful blessings. So
absolutely,
using our hardships and difficulties to become blessings. What I chose
absolutely.
to do for myself, to
I,
sharing my story with women and inspire them and motivate them to get out of toxic relationships, abusive relationships as soon as possible, because it's vital. It's very important.
it is. You should do your own podcast.
Thank you, Tanya.
You should
I
do
would
your
love
own
to do it. It's in my plan for the future, but as I say, I love to do it fast now, so maybe soon.
maybe soon. Okay, Stella. Thank you for coming by. I really appreciate talking to you. It was
And I
a
have a free
beautiful chat.
gift.
You have a free gift? Tell us about it.
Yes, I have a gift for you and for all your followers. And I would like to start with you, if you don't mind, whenever you have a chance. I would love to donate my time to share more about my healing journey from 30 minutes up to an hour, because women, we can talk for hours if you want to.
I
But
would love to.
and women who can they think that they can learn something from me, or they want to have just a talk, or maybe I can guide them, I can advise them, I can give some recommendations of everything that I used and I did in my life. And also as a bonus, since I'm interested for the last few months in the science of numbers, numerology, if you provide me with your full name, full birth name, or with your birthday, I can reveal to you what are your gifts, talents, and many other characteristics that can move you forward in life. Or even if you knew you had them, you needed confirmation and like a kick to monetize them or do something with them. I would love to share it. You can just DM me on all my social media. I can
I'll
provide it to you.
I'll make sure that it'll go into the show notes, Stella. That way people can find you. So thank you very much for being
If
here.
you don't
And
mind, I can just say a few last words.
okay.
Ladies, we are so powerful. We are so strong. Thank you, Tanya. It was such a pleasure to be a part of your podcast. And we are all capable of having and receiving all our needs and desires.
Yes.
We are worth the self love and the self respect. And please do not procrastinate. If you have one red flag, don't wait for for more. If one man told you that he doesn't want you, don't wait for him to tell you again that he doesn't want you. Just move forward
Yes.
and take care of yourself. Thank
Yes.
you for having me.
Thank you. And bye, everybody.
Bye.